Welcome back to the Patrick Regan Show. Getting my clock synchronized here. Yeah, it sounded like I lost my train of thought during that last segment. It's because I did. When I'm sitting here looking at a one-timer and it's about 7 minutes behind the other clocks in the studio, and I'm watching the timer, of course, to make sure I work out of these segments correctly, or ready to go out of the segments, and you look down and it's saying you got 5 minutes, and you look up and the station clock says, no, you got about 10 seconds. So, anyway, welcome back to the Patrick Regan Show here on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network and News Talk 98.7 WOKI. This week, in between the distractions being attempted by the government and their buddies in the media, and by the way, that's what all this hype about gay marriage and immigration is. It's a distraction from the bigger problem of the government spying on you. You see, gay marriage and immigration, neither of those two issues is as dangerous as the government spying scandal. That's why those things are being pushed to the front of the headlines, the front page of the newspapers. And all this spying, all this NSA, all this government violating your constitutional rights, all of that's being pushed to the back in order to make you forget all about what is really happening in this country. Now, I talked about this just last week, how the government is dangling some shiny keys in front of your face, saying, hey, look at these issues. Hey, it's immigration. Those people are stealing your jobs and sucking up your health care and welfare money. And if that doesn't get your mind off the NSA, then, hey, look, gay marriage is taking over the country. You Christians, and that's a big part of this country. Look, we're going to legalize it. You better put your energy into fighting that instead of this little insignificant problem of the government looking at every single piece of email and listening to every single phone call you make. No, don't bother with that. You better worry about that immigration and gay marriage. Of course, I like just asking the question, do you enjoy being a puppet? Do you enjoy having the government pulling your strings and making you dance just like they want you to? Aren't you about ready to cut those strings and start thinking and acting for yourself? Well, if so, welcome to the Patrick Regan Show. Welcome to the one place where you're going to find enlightenment and a fulfillment that you aren't going to find anywhere else in media today. But getting back to my point on the spying, though, do you realize what is happening today? What is happening in our country? The United States of America. Our own government is spying on us. Spying on us, the American citizens. Does that not disturb you at all? But Patrick, they're doing it for my safety. No, they're not. They're doing it for their safety. The safety of the government. They could care less about your safety. When these apologists for this spying, these people in government and media who are making excuses for what is going on, when these people are out there accusing Edward Snowden of being a traitor, what they're telling you is to give up your freedom, give up your liberty. By the way, if they keep saying Edward Snowden's a traitor enough times, they're hoping that charge will stick in your mind. But not here. Edward Snowden here on this show is a hero. He's a hero. He's got the courage to come out and spill the beans on what this government has been doing. Do you even understand what he has done? He could still be working his nice little job in Hawaii for an NSA contractor, enjoying his life with his girlfriend and getting paid pretty well. Do you understand what this man has given up? He's passing secrets to our enemies, though, Patrick. That's why he's a traitor. Really? Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't most spies give their secrets secretly? Don't they do their spying and we don't find out about it for years? We always hear about these people after they've done all their work. They don't release documents to the media. They don't become worldwide celebrities. That kind of puts a crimp on their spying activities, wouldn't you say? Edward Snowden was living a nice life. If he was a true spy, he could have passed secrets and probably made a really good living at it. But now he's given up everything he had. For what? To run around the world trying to find someplace to live? Trying to keep from being abducted by the United States and possibly even killed? Look at what this guy gave up. If that doesn't tell you how committed he is to making you aware of what our government has been up to, And yet, you don't have the time to worry about it. You have to watch television. Yeah, catch up on your email and Facebook. Everything this man, this hero, Edward Snowden, did everything he give up just so you would know what is going on. Is all that going to be for naught? Did he willingly destroy his life for you to just ignore the problem? Did he throw away everything he had worked for just so you could say, oh well, government spying on me. What do you know? I suspected as much. Better get back to uploading those vacation photos to Facebook. Got to give those bureaucrats and the NSA something to look at, I think the problem is most people have not considered what Mr. Snowden has given up and what he is currently going through. Also, you can know that your government has what they've been doing, how the government has been unconstitutionally spying on you. Put yourself in his place. Would you do it? Would you single-handedly take on the entire United States government, arguably the most powerful organization in the whole world? Would you give up everything you have, everything, and go on the run trying to elude our government? Do you get it now? The most powerful nation in the world is pressuring other countries to turn in Edward Snowden. Our government probably has kill teams out trying to take him out. I'm sure the drones are flying trying to target him. If our government is charging him with treason, you can bet they're looking to kill him if given the chance. But he's doing all of this for you. He certainly isn't doing it for himself. What's he getting out of this? He loses everything he worked for. Probably his girlfriend, too. He can't visit his family. He can't even call his family. He doesn't really have anybody but himself. Would you be willing to do that? Walk away from everything you have right now. Look around your house, your car. Think about all the things you have in life, all the luxuries you have. I said your car, your boat, your house, everything. Would you be willing to give all that up based on the fact you disagree with what your government is doing and you want to expose it? Most people would not. I would go so far as to say 99% of the people would not do it. How do I know that? Because all this has been going on for all these years, and we've only had a handful of people. These whistleblowers come forward to try and warn us, the American citizens, try to warn us about all this. A handful. Well, I can't even think of five. Five or less people that I can think of right off the top of my head. Five or less people who cared enough to walk off their nice, lucrative government job and ring the alarm bell trying to wake up this country. Now, the bad news is it doesn't appear to be working. No one really cares enough to do anything about it. Not until Mr. Snowden. Not until him did anything really get made of it. It is really the first I can think of that's been made into this worldwide sensation. And yet here we sit, comfortably in our little American civilization, not doing a dang thing about it. Nothing. You aren't writing your congressional representatives. You aren't calling them. You aren't emailing them. Nothing. Are we going to allow Edward Snowden's life to be ruined for nothing? Did he throw away his life? And that's what he did, He can't come back to this country. He can't go to any country that might send him back here. Ever. Never. Ever. Are you getting it now? Are you starting to understand what this courageous man has given up for you? As I said, it wasn't for his gain. I don't think he was sitting in his office cubicle and said, hey, gee, wouldn't it be great to lose everything I own? Everything I've worked for to try and put an end to this violation of our constitutional rights. Hey, and while I'm at it, I think I'll fly around the world trying to elude the tactical units being sent out by the United States who are trying to either catch me or put a bullet in my head. Yeah, that sounds like more fun than getting a nice paycheck, living in Hawaii with my girlfriend and just enjoying life. You wouldn't do what Mr. Snowden has done. I will say it in case you're not thinking it. You absolutely would not do what he did. You would not give up everything to try and wake up your fellow American citizens. No way. You don't have the guts. As I've said, there are so many people in government right now seeing what is going on, seeing the same things he did, and probably even worse things happening and don't say a word about it. They take their paychecks and justify it to themselves that they're fighting a war on terror or making our country safer or whatever. They certainly aren't being truthful with themselves, because if they were, they would quit their job and go do something else. The horror of what they're doing to their fellow American citizens would be too much for them to handle. That is, if they weren't lying to themselves about what they're doing. And a lot of people, and I mean a whole lot of people, are doing just that in government right at this moment. All right, we're up on the first break, or the second break, half-hour break of the Patrick Regan Show already, boiling through another hour quickly. When we come back, we'll hit a couple more things. It's a big show. We've got a lot we're trying to cram in. Hopefully we'll get to it all. If we don't, you can hit our Facebook page and find it there, facebook.com/Patrick Regan Show. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.